Hey y'all.
Hi everybody. Hi everybody.
Hey y'all, I don't know why I added a y'all in there, but welcome back to the Indulge in Yourself podcast. We are coming in hot.
We're coming in hot.
How was your day?
I had a really good day. I had so many clients today. So
That's good.
It's a long day.
That's good. Okay.
How was your day?
I think it was good. I think my day was good. Just an average work day. So I think the interesting thing is this 999 stuff that we got to tell you guys about. So I don't know if you know anything about angel numbers, guys, but
I don't even pay attention to like numbers,
but they mean something. It's a number one way. I feel like, my personal opinion, from what I've looked into it, like your angels are always there to guide you and help you, but it's hard to notice the signs, but numbers are such a visual sign, so it's easy to, it's like one of the most noticed things.
But I also think it's people will see them consistently and then just be like, oh no, it's just coincidental that I saw that. But like, it can only happen so many times, like I said, before you start.
Yeah. No, I don't think if you just see it one time, I mean, maybe, but I feel like when you start consistently, whether it's like the time or license plates or
9
whatever.
9 times out of 10, you can ask somebody and ask if they're seeing numbers, and they'll be like, oh my god, I always see like 222.
Yeah. But I feel like some people like always see the same number, but I feel like also like in different periods of my life I like just have heavily numbers, and now that I'm more open to realizing them, like license plates speak to me a lot, or like random things, I don't know. But I came to Alyssa and I was like, Alyssa, like I have to talk about this because like I'm seeing 999 everywhere, and that's what I've never seen before. Like I see 333, I see 1111, but this is the first like past
so
2
weird.
weeks.
Even Jocelyn saying 1111 and 33, like I was born on the 11th, and a way that I validate when I feel like I'm not gonna say like I'm communicating with my grandfather, but that's how I feel like I am. I always see 1133, right? And me and Jocelyn both. It's just weird that you see 11s, and like we're both like obviously like I have a 33 tattooed on me, and she's wearing 333.
Yeah, my neck.
So
we just are weirdly tied to things, and it's, I don't know. I swear we're soul sisters. We're twin flames.
But we do have a good, like, I feel like kind of layered topic, if you will.
Oh yeah, we do. So I wanted to mention the 999 because it kind of just gets us into the the headspace.
I forgot where we were going with it for a second.
999. I looked it up and I was like, what does this mean? Okay.
What
does this mean? And first, it's Juice WRLD's thing, so that was like a major. Let's just put this plug out there.
Oh, don't even start. That's a whole separate video in itself. But like, trust me, the things that we're talking about on this podcast, I wholeheartedly believe that like Juice WRLD has like thought about or
knew.
Yeah, and I don't know.
Listen to his music.
I mean, obviously, you know his. I just feel like you listen to the words, but it goes right over your head, though.
Yeah, but if you listen.
But I mean, I'm sure there's some people that really do listen, and you know.
Or like listen to the podcast and then go listen to a Juice WRLD song and you hear it differently.
Yeah.
Even us. 999 basically means like one chapter of your life is closing, and only closing because there's a better and a new chapter coming in, and they need the space to come in. With that, it also puts you back on guidance of improving your spiritual path, improving your life path, getting back on path, just in all, it said just kind of like improving your spiritual journey.
Kind of funny how our last video we were talking a lot about obviously you pick up negative energy, you know what I mean? The better that you are at keeping your energy protected and not absorbing other people's energy. And I feel like it's weird that now you're closing a chapter and like kind of moving on, and I feel like if you were still stuck not knowing how to like get rid of the negative energy, you wouldn't be able to move on. So I feel like it's kind of right.
And like think all the things ending, like my semester of school just ended, my living situation ending, my relationship, like I'll put it out there, like you know what I mean, like I just feel like it's not coincidental, it is.
Be real, we'll get really into the topic in about like a few seconds. I just want to throw this out there. This has been the weirdest week of my life. Being very
honest.
I'm like very intuitive, obviously, like I've been open about that, but this has been the weirdest week of my life where I really do think that I can like predict things. So I have a client that I was like working on today, and I don't want to like put too much of her information out there, but obviously she's just trying to have a baby. I just know that she is. And I just truthfully think that she's going to have a boy, and it's just weird because I told her that. I told her that, and she was like, it's just weird because all of my friends in my group are having boys and blah, blah, blah. And it was weird because before she told me all her friends were having boys, I had this weird feeling that she was in Target recently. Buying like literally boy clothes, right? So then, you know, she proceeds to tell me how she went to this baby shower, and then I was like, oh my gosh. I was like, so did I just envision her at Target?
And then you asked.
buying baby clothes. So I was like, so before you went to this baby shower, she's like, yeah, she said she literally went to Target right before her baby shower. Back to like what we're really, really talking about today, which I think is gonna, I feel like, change your perspective on just like improving things in your life and things that you need to do for yourself. And
so we are a self-improvement podcast, but we specialize in self-improvement from within. So we're not going to give you, maybe physical tactics or say do this or do that. We think everything starts from within you.
I mean, it literally does, because not to be weird, but like, let's say if you were brain dead, right? You can't physically do anything, right? Because your brain's dead. So everything literally comes from within the side of your body. Yeah. And that's what I mean. Like, when I say, like, oh, like, your vibes, we're literally talking about, like, your vibrations.
Inside, like, your body.
I feel, so when we say, like, from within, I feel like we need to, like, kind of
emphasize
the fact that we mean, like, inside of your...
Yeah. We obviously promote self-improvement. I personally believe we're put on this earth. It's like we like coming to this earth as humans and doing a human experience as a whole. Yeah. We have things to accomplish, and it's a self-improvement journey. We want to gain more wisdom and knowledge, and we want to improve. And actually, fun fact, one of my, like, psychic people that, like, I was a mediumship person actually said that it's kind of cool because we come on these journeys of life, and I don't think I've ever told you this before, but, like, we learn all these things, whatever. Once you get to, like, heaven or whatever you guys know what we mean when we say heaven. It becomes universal knowledge. So all the beings, the higher consciousness, knows that information, all the information you gathered from your life journey. And I just thought that was so, like, whole.
So what do you mean? What do you mean exactly?
So, like, say I come down and I learn a lot about whatever it is.
Electricity.
Yeah. And, like, once you go up to heaven, it's, like, all common knowledge. Now, it might not be electricity. Like, it's more, like, maybe soul, consciousness, learning,
so is it almost like trying to see how much you can...
bring back? Like, I don't know. I mean,
or, like, what you brought back from your life. Yeah. Now, this is where I feel like we're about to just talk about, obviously, self-improvement, right? We're also going to talk about how it could be positive or negative or whatever, right? But I feel like I understand really quick how it can be negative, and I don't want to lose my thought. Yeah. But, like, I feel like the problem is sometimes, people that are very spiritual can stay in a good spiritual space, and I feel like sometimes people get too much in depth, and they're like, well, what the fuck is the point of all of it then? Yeah. If I'm just going to die, what's the point of being so happy-go-lucky my whole life and achieving all these goals if, like, this and this and this is going to happen to me?
Makes you see it, like... But everything is about two perspectives, though. Everything in life, and this included, right? And it's almost like... I like to envision it as, like, my higher consciousness maybe knows my purpose or, like, my path, but, like, I'm down here trying to just figure out my path. And when things are hard, I like to see it as, like, hey, it's just like a maze. I'm just, like, going through the maze. I can make a couple of wrong turns, but I'll get to the right one. Like, as long as I'm consciously, like, trying to get where I just feel at home and where I want to be and, like, accomplished and whatnot. And you go through, like, many little journeys in your life, right? Like, it's not just, like, one ultimate one, and that could go you have free will to make it go different ways, but it's almost like, I like to see it as, like, a fun thing. Like, I'm so happy I get to, like, live this life. Like, I came down here as a soul. It's not that long when you really think of it,
Remember, you could have been a fish.
You could have been a fish. You only get $100, but yeah, like, it's just, like, I don't know, because life gets so overwhelming, and then, like, you take yourself out of it, and you're like, dude, like, this is just, like, literal fun. To, like, my higher consciousness, soul, bigger thing, whatever the bigger it is, like, this is just, like, like, a little whatever, so, like, let me just do my best, but enjoy it. And it's that balance, like, when we talk self-improvement, where you can either love it or hate it or destroy yourself, right? It's that balance between improving yourself and being that best version of yourself, because that's what you're put here to do. You're trying to improve your soul, right? Or... it's that balance between that, but, like, enjoying your time here. You're here to enjoy it. Like, you're going to be here regardless, so, like, might as well enjoy it and feed your soul. So it's, like, but that's a thin line, and we struggle with that line between.
I still struggle with it. I mean, especially with all the things I feel like been happening to me recently. Like, I definitely feel like I can tap more into, like, certain things if I'm not more of, like, a negative Nancy. The more negative I get out,
sorry
the
to all
more
the Nancys.
positive that I'm sorry, all the Nancys, Kathys, and Karens.
Sorry.
But, I don't know, and genuinely, or is it genuinely? Generally speaking.
You need to be Happy Harriet.
I always say that, Happy Harriet.
Yeah.
I love that. That would be a great...
Jolly Jocelynn.
That would be, like, a great brand.
Happy Harriet. Happy Harriet.
Yeah.
Like a senior living brand. Like, close for seniors. Like, Or an attitude-ridden Alyssa.
I love how you're now picking up my words, my ridden, my yada yada yadas.
Yada yada yada.
I don't really know where I was going with that, but all I'm saying is that
I'm picking up on more.
I feel like the better you are at just navigating your mind and your negative thoughts, throughout the day, the more you're going to accomplish as a person, the happier you'll be, the less stressful life will get. And as hard as it sounds, like, a lot of us have dug ourselves so deep into a hole where it's, like, impossible that, like, even, like, waking up early in the morning is, like, hard because it's not normal.
But it's not, though.
But if you do, like, you know,
it's a mental thing.
I know, but you said if you do something for 3 weeks, you start subconsciously doing it. Well, for 3 weeks, me and you have been doing this, like, no negative energy thing, like, keeping it out away from us. You can't say that we're not genuinely better. people.
100%.
We're literally happy Harriets.
And, like, now it's, like, become so part of me. Like, this is, like, so...
And we still are dealing with problems, but it's like we're being able to redirect our...
Yeah.
Instead of just letting it absorb us for the whole day. We're just, like the time you answered the phone when you were sitting here.
And I was just like, you know what?
Yeah, no.
I agree. I just think there's so much we could get into there. But the one line that, like, we came up with was, you have, like, self-improvement. And that's, like, the center. That's your goal. It's where the eye is. And then with that, you have, like, these two little branches of self-destruction and self-acceptance. And I feel like the relationship here is, yes, we want to constantly improve. You know, maybe you don't. But I think generally, you know, we grow. Like, that's just something, like, I like to, you like to. It's something about life. Like, who wouldn't want to just improve in whatever aspect that is? Self-improvement. And that's, you know, what we love to just have this, like, life journey where we enjoy improving our lives. That is the Indulge brand. But it's all about being comfortable there and enjoying it there. And it's self-acceptance within that, which we talked about a little bit last week, where it's just like, yes, I'm on my improvement journey, but the key there is you have to make sure you're accepting yourself during that journey, right?
Right.
You can't be, like, imagine if you're always trying to improve, you know, and you can never get everything done because you're trying to improve everything and you're just so overwhelmed.
It's like, I kind of like, I don't mean to cut you off, but I kind of like how all of our videos are following our path that we're trying to portray.
Like, this is our life.
Yeah, you're I have to stop saying that. Just genuinely. I'm
Genuinely.
gonna say you're actually, you know, a part of this process with us.
Yeah.
Like, even though we don't even sound educated. We're just trying to give our...
Yeah. It's almost like we just go through life experiences and this is our like reflection time. And, like, at the end of every week we get to, like, reflect and then do better the next week. So, like, literally this podcast actually helps us improve week by week, and it almost, like, if you take it the right way when you listen, you could do the same.
I do feel like the path with, like, the destruction and acceptance is really, really good, because I feel like we have this hard thing where it's like, if we're not achieving something quickly, we start thinking there's something, like, almost wrong with us or something wrong with what we're doing, and even if we are, then that's an opportunity, like I said, to grow. So it's almost like you have a fear of whatever it is, and you got to turn that into, like, okay, well, this is just my opportunity to grow and continue to achieve what I'm achieving or trying to achieve, and I have to accept the person that I am now to be the person that I'm going to become.
Yeah, you can't be the future version of yourself without every past version of you.
Yeah.
But the self-destruction is the other end of that, and that's, like, when you get to that point where you have so many things you want to do that you do nothing, and you hate yourself, you hate your life. ADD. Yeah, and I feel like I ride this thin line of both of these, and I'm constantly trying to get to this point where I'm in self-acceptance, and I'm constantly on this, like, happy, like, enjoying the journey to improvement. But I'm not destructing myself in the process.
So what is it for you that makes you're, like, it almost like you can't, like, it's hard for you to get back onto that path? Like, what knocks you off of that path for a little bit? Like, does something ever make you, is it like, something that makes you mad? Is it something, like, what is it that kind of...
No, I think mine is, like, I used to be the person that, like, if something was, like, going on in my relationship or something was going on with, like, one thing could be going wrong in my life and I would be knocked off that path and, like, be put on a bad path for a good couple, like, years. But... I've definitely overcame that. Like, I'm pretty, like, I know where I'm heading. I have my eye on the prize. But what gets me is, like, I have, like, this productivity issue. So it's a good issue, but it's bad. And I also know I have ADD and anxiety. We've talked about it. But it's, like... Not medicated, and I won't be, because I'm on my path to doing
meditating, not medicating.
Self-medicating. Meditating, not medicating. Nobody wanted to hear that. Anyways, I have, like, the productivity issue, so it's like I have this never-ending to-do list. I am like a robot, work by a calendar, like, have a million things on it. But it's like I'm also a human, and I'll overschedule myself and need to do everything, and I always have this never-ending to-do list, which part of me loves. Like, I love being, like, having so much stuff to do. Like, I love being a busy person. I always want to do more, and I know I'm going to be a person that does a lot in life. And have to manage my time well, but the other side of me, like, when that doesn't get done, because sometimes it just can't all get done, and it's never ending, right? I keep adding more to the list, so it's never going to be fully done. that is where I start self-destructing. Because then I do nothing. I have a bad day. I'm down on myself.
I feel like it's because maybe you're overachieving a little bit too much. Are you trying to overachieve too much in, like, a little bit of time, maybe?
Yeah, where it's just like when it's my thoughts. Like, it's like, if I time blocked if I time blocked my time and, like, stayed and had, like, self-discipline and just did it, I probably could get done a lot that day. But it's the day that I have these, like, ADD thoughts and I'm thinking about 39 different things and I'm writing down things on this imaginary to-do list of things that need to be done. And I'm, like, researching, so I have to, like, stop everything I'm doing right there to figure out this idea or whatever it could be.
Fine line between me and Jocelynn. I think I just want to know, because I know that me and her are exactly the same. And I think I do the same thing, except the only difference between me and her is I don't write them down.
I do.
Right? And I don't, because I physically cannot see.
Yeah.
Everything that I know everything. I mean, I know you know too. I know you write it down because it's easier for you. And I want to write them down too, right? But I don't make enough time to even make the schedule, right?
But then that's bothering you.
Right, but it's bothering me that is never clear. Like, there's a notebook in my head. There's a little planner up in there.
And sometimes I get missing.
There's never a time that my head hits the pillow and I'm like, complete.
No, and then,
you know what I mean? Like, I need to do more.
It sucks because it's like when you have this, like, never-ending list, and then you're scared. Like, when you feel like you're good and everything's done, then it's like there's something that must have flew somewhere else, and then you have to figure it out.
There's always something.
So it's like this stuff needs to be managed, and that's when I get into self-destruction, because yes, I'm doing all these things, trying to be a better version of me, trying to do more, trying to achieve things.
Like sabotaging yourself a little bit.
If I can't control my thoughts and my time, I'm self-destructing, and then I feel so bad about myself. It's like you with the laundry last weekend. Like,
Jocelynn,
this sounds... No, let me start this.
Honestly,
I need to put it into perspective from an outside perspective.
Okay, it's good.
Alyssa, I was with Alyssa on Sunday, and...
This is my only day off.
It was her... Well, you did kind of work. So, Alyssa, I was with her. I got with her on Sunday. We had a couple things to do, but it was her day off. Like, we could have, like, sat in the sun and sunbathed. I don't know. She, literally, in outside perspective, had clothes on her floor and wanted a dresser. That's all. But, in Alyssa's mind, take it from here, Alyssa.
I was like, absolutely not. Not only do I have not a dresser, the clothes on my floor, all the fucking products in my room that I need to go through and throw away. My bathroom's a mess. My house is a mess. Nothing's organized in this house.
Go on.
My fucking salon, like, it was just like I needed to order this, I need to order that, and then this,
everything
and
at once.
And we're talking about a wedding, and I'm just like, it was just so much. I was absolutely going insane and spiraling into, like, a manic episode.
Yeah, to the point where she was like, oh my god, like, I think I need medication, like, I have depression, I have this, I have that, I'm going crazy, I can't do it.
I was like, I think I'm depressed.
Like,
I was like, there's no way that a human can let their room get this way. And it wasn't even that bad.
No, it really, like, from the outside in,
it was like,
it's funny.
It's funny because I feel like we're literally sitting there like, Alyssa, it's literally just close.
No, but this is the thing. Like, I know if this was me in your position, I'd feel, because I'm just the same way. So it's like, I knew if this was my room, I'd be the same fucking way. But I'd be writing it down. Like, I'd have this list of 29 million bajillion
and afterwards,
things.
I'm gonna wipe down the windowsills.
Yes,
and lift the fucking carpet.
but it's worse than that, because it's not even that. It's like, we're the type of people that, like, we'll just go buy a new fucking carpet because we get so pissed off with the carpet, even though, like, all we had to do was maybe, like, put stain remover on, like, the one...
Like, my thing was, like, in general speaking, here we fucking...
General speaking.
Why do you keep say that?
Yada, 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 blah,
what
blah, blah.
I feel like trying to portray to everybody in the household between Jocelynn and Nicholas...
Everybody.
And my dog and cat that were probably absolutely terrified.
You're going insane.
I was going insane, but all I really wanted to say was, like, hello, I work 6 days a week. I never get a day off to myself. This was the day that I dedicated in my head to myself, to my clothes, to my room, because if my room and my clothes are organized, I will have a better, successful week. And if I don't get this done right now, then this whole week is going to be shitty. And then what if next week I don't get it done? And then it's going to be a consistent fallout of weeks of shittiness and unorganization. But we went to Target and
got the dresser.
Even though, and even Jocelynn was like, if the dresser's at Target, it's meant to be.
And it was.
So we found a dresser, only one they had. And we rung it up, and it was, like, originally $120. It was actually, weirdly, like, $32, or it was $34, because I remember it was almost $36.
Yeah.
Or almost $33, and I thought that was weird.
Yeah. But the point is, like, that's another thing when you
changed my life, by the way, that dresser.
Yeah. Anyway, side note. The point is, the way you said, like, but this was, like, this is what destructs me and you, is, like you said, in my head, this was, like, the time it was supposed to happen, and we're people that, like, If that's in
Right.
our head and it doesn't happen that way, it's like the world is ending.
Right.
But that I'm learning is like another part of this, like, yeah, you can want to achieve and put things on a calendar, and it's good to have self-discipline and get something done when it has to get done. But it's that fine line again that we keep talking about where it's like, okay, but like it can't be like this set in stone thing where if it doesn't happen, I self-destruct. Like it has to be a flexible self-improvement.
Well, I also fell into this weird feeling too, which I feel like you could relate to, maybe like trying to lose weight, right? And you go to the gym and you like work so hard and you maybe didn't work out the way you wanted to, and then you go home and you look at yourself and you're just like, who even am I? Like, what did I just do? Well, when Jocelynn left my house, I was sitting there thinking like how much better I felt when you left. Like I was like already feeling better because my room was like starting to be like more organized or whatever. And then I was sitting there, like, thinking, like, oh, my God, Jocelynn probably thinks I'm crazy. You know what I mean? So then I started feeling, like, shit about myself and how I acted. And then I'm like...
But you weren't able to see, like,
so
that till it was done.
But when you just have a great friend like Jocelynn that can actually just, break it all down for you.
I was like, let's just go get the dresser. Let's just do this.
Yeah, and we did it. So it's funny that a lot of things in our life that we try to do, for some reason, we try to tear ourselves down first before we even get to the before we can even get to the result.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
But like, if we built ourselves up the whole time, our result would be so much better.
Look, you might might not get your fucking room done, but
it's gonna be better than it started.
That's what I'm saying.
Yeah.
So,
and then like whatever you don't get done, look at your a calendar saves my life. But like if I say I can't get done, I look at my calendar and it's like, okay, but I'm gonna already put Wednesday at 6. I'm doing this.
You gave me a great idea.
Yeah.
I think if you're like self-employed or you like are in the beauty industry, I'm sure you have like online booking. What I should do is I should just use that and just book my stuff into that. I can just I don't have to make actual appointments. I can just be little notes for myself. Since I'm already working around 9 people a day anyway, so.
Yeah, but I mean, you do need a Google Calendar because I just like need to be able to send you meetings, and it pisses me off I can't.
So you're gonna have to actually help me because I'm.
Yeah, it'll change your life.
I don't know if I've told you this or not yet, but I'm actually really bad with computers. That's the problem.
Well, it's on your phone. It's an app.
I know.
Anyways, it will change your life.
But I'm just like, so how do I click this and
insert,
Yeah,
we'll have to help her. Alyssa's like, once you tell her, she'll like get good at it, but you gotta tell her.
Yeah.
Anyway. So the point of all of this is that while we promote self-improvement, and we all want to do that in our journeys, we have to ride the fine line between acceptance with improvement or destruction with minimal improvement. Which one do you want? You want to live this better life. You want to improve and become the best version of yourself. You want to reach your goals. But we have to start training our brains to realize that the best way to get there is to still be happy doing it. Enjoy doing it. You're going to the gym. Enjoy going to the gym.
Right. But I also feel like another point of it is realizing when you're starting to verge off.
Mm-hmm. And being able to stop it.
Like, it's not so much of like, yeah, you can self-improve. Yeah, you can self-discipline. Yeah, you can do this and accept yourself. But like, if you can't acknowledge when you're destructing yourself. Yeah. And not being able to be like honest with yourself and being like, okay, well, I'm the reason actually why I'm not losing weight because I continue to keep drinking Coke.
And eating a million cookies.
Right. Whatever it is. It's just that's a horrible way to put it because I genuinely think whenever I start gaining weight, that's just it for me.
Well, I think like, do you know what helps me?
For the rest of my life. What?
When I know you're like this, you have to be like this, but like for me, when my thoughts, like I'm self-destructing, when my thoughts are like self-destructing and I know I'm like kind of verging, I have to like speak out loud and it's like so much more clear. Like I'll literally just be in front of a mirror and I'll just be like, okay,
well,
so I'm
gonna
do this.
Only child, you understand, and I'm sure you know, unless this is just something. Oh, by the way, I remembered the thing that I wanted to tell you.
What?
Really quick, but if you're an only child, I'm sure you've talked to yourself a lot, but that's what I do. I talk to myself. That's just the only way that I'm.
But it like sorts my thoughts.
To me?
Like if I have like this never-ending like 10 things pop in my head.
I mean, there's an obvious reason why we can't turn our ears off.
Yeah.
So it's like if we were by ourselves, they would just go off if we were only meant to hear other people.
That's true. We're meant to hear ourselves. You're meant to listen to yourself.
But I wanted to remind you that I felt like this weird intuition thing started happening to me when I was younger. And that's how I tapped into it, but we can talk about that later. But it started with jewelry on my hands. I started thinking certain jewelry, if I wore it, it would give me luck. And if it didn't, that I would have like a horrible day.
That's funny.
It's like a security blanket.
That has to mean something.
But I found it in like items instead.
I mean, you still might.
I still do it to this day. Like, I swear up and down if I don't wear this ring to work that I make a lot less money than I normally do.
Yeah, but items carry energy.
It's my ring. Anyway.
Yeah, we'll have to talk more about that. But yeah, I just think if I know I have like 40 things and I'm like thinking about it and then I start researching about it and I can't do what I'm doing now because I have this thought about doing this, I just, like, speak it out loud, write it down on a paper, schedule a time to think about it, and then do what I'm doing now.
That was me zippering my mouth and throwing my key away, so I stopped cutting you off.
Yeah. I got the key.
I thought you saw a bug for a second. You scared me.
No.
I wanted to say I also think, too, is looking at other people. Like, seeing other people ahead of you. Or,
Yeah,
like,
ahead of you, marks.
But, like, you don't know really what they're going through. So, like, don't compare yourself to other people because that's just going to hinder the process of whatever you're trying to do.
Yeah.
Whether it be a business, whether it be growing your hair, whether it be whatever. Because, you know, but no matter what you're doing, just like if you have bad teeth, you're constantly looking at people's smiles. You're like, I just wish I had a perfect smile. Or if your hair's short, you're just like, I just wish my fucking hair would grow.
Whatever it could be.
So it's like you gotta stop.
Have you ever heard people say the quote where it's like, if you're in a room where you're like the most successful, the most rich, the most best, whatever it could be, like you need to get out of that room. Like have you ever heard people say you want to be in a room with people that are all richer, smarter, better than you, higher than you, whatever it is? I understand that now. Like even on my spirituality journey, I want to be in a room with people that know so much more and have tapped in so much more so I can gain from it. Same thing with like business. Like it's intimidating at first, but I want to be in a room with 60-year-old business women and men who just like know what they're doing. Where almost I feel intimidated.
So fun though.
Yeah, but like I think that is like the positive outlook of that. Like instead of comparing yourself to these people and being discouraged,
use them as like an inspiration.
Be a sponge. Be a sponge that can take something out of everyone and
like
everything.
That's the energy you should be absorbing.
Yeah, like absorb it, take it in, and even you don't have to even like consciously think about it, but like it'll be there and manifest into what it needs to in your life.
Yeah,
and like
or there's always a reason why you're there, why you're listening to whatever you're listening to or whatever it is. Just like there might be a reason why you're listening to the podcast, right? But like no matter where you're at, knowing what information you should absorb and what you shouldn't is 100% like you want to take. Yeah, that's actually a great.
Be a sponge. Yeah, be a sponge. We start selling sponges.
But you gotta, instead of like when you're absorbing negative energy and then releasing it, it's more like you're absorbing
positive,
but then you're like releasing it into your own life.
Yeah, which in turn will release it into others. Yeah, but I that's a good one.
Just like sitting next to a smart kid in class.
Yeah, but not cheating.
Right.
But yeah, I think that's another technique. It's just like it's your perspective of the way you view it, and it's like also you gotta like realize that, like I will spend like a whole day worrying about the lettering aesthetic on like something like all the fonts need to look the same in everybody, something like that, right? And it's like this is great and all, but like at the grand scheme of things, like if I'm the person worrying about that, trust me, what I'm doing now is probably better than most people, and like it's fine. And like if you look at it in the grand scheme of things, like in the grand scheme of life, like do you really want to be so stressed out your whole life about something as small as, it sounds stupid, like, but it's just a show. The things that you like over obsess over, like you just need to do it, make it a plan, and say I'll reflect on this or revisit this in 6 months. But for the next 6 months, I'm using these letters, like whatever. And then 6 months later, you give yourself designated time to reflect on it. But it's like we listen to that song, "The End of Everything," and I think it's not to like doomsday anybody, but it kind of puts life into perspective. And so like
you say doomsday?
Yeah.
I've never heard somebody use that word.
Well, I think I made it up.
Because do you know what a doomsday clock is?
No.
Oh, you should look it up.
Oh. I know what dooms means. Doomsday. But yeah, The End of Everything, Noah Cyrus. I shared it with you.
Great song.
It actually, if you listen to the words, it ends off in a good thing, but like it kind of gets depressing because it just says like everyone you love is going to die. Everything you know is going to die. Basically, at one point, we're going to die. Everything's going to die.
We all know that. Whether you want to, whether you want to, think about it or not, it's going to happen.
But at the end of the song, it ends with like that's why you need to enjoy your present moment fully and absorb it because it's all going to be gone. And I think that just puts a lot of this into perspective.
Taylor Swift song, there's a song where she's like, never grow up, never grow up song.
I don't know it.
It's like, don't you ever grow up.
Yeah, what song is that?
Never
I want to listen to old T Swizzle.
Okay, well, in that song, she says, basically what she's saying is like, almost like everything that you have is one day going to be gone.
Yeah. So
and it's almost like, even if you're sitting here right now listening to this, right? Think back to your 7-year-old room or like one of your favorite toys. Do you even know where that is right now? It's somewhere, whether it got put in the dumpster or ended
somewhere.
It's somewhere. I don't know why we always talk about dumpsters and trash cans, but all I'm saying is like everything, just like
everyone's a dumpster.
Everything we had when we were younger, we have like what, maybe like 2 or 3 things, but like everything we usually have disappears. Yeah. Places like my apartment, right?
And it's fine to disappear, but it's like it's fine. You need to just enjoy everything good and bad while it's there.
Yeah.
But, like, in the healing part of it, know at one day it's going to end. And in the, like, great part of it, know that one day it's going to end and you should absorb it now. And it's just, like, you're whole with just yourself. And it's you and your improvement journey, and that's that. But I think a big word we've come back to a lot is balance. Balance, balance, balance. And it's your perspective, right? If you see that perspective of, like, everything's going to end one day, this larger perspective of the world, it puts, like, your little worries into perspective of, like, am I really going to freak out about the fucking dresser or the font on there? No, I'm going to spend 30 minutes on it, and then, like, I'm going to release it from my brain, and it's going to be okay because, like, it's not the biggest deal ever. But the other side of it is, like, okay, I want it to be perfect or whatever it is. So I am going to allocate time to it.
Like, finding that balance, like, in that moment, maybe instead of me just, like, sitting there really upset for so long, right?
Yeah.
I should have just really just picked up my keys and went to Target and just got the dresser ahead of time.
And then been like, whatever it is, it is.
Yeah, you know what I'm saying? Like, we overcomplicate things for whatever reason.
Yeah.
And I feel like when you can learn how to uncomplicate your thoughts and...
Oh, yeah. You're indestructible.
Everybody has two voices in their head. And, I mean, at least I hope I'm not the only person that just has this voice in my head that's, like, always talking to me. But there's, like, two different ones. And there's one that's, like, really good, happy Alyssa. And then there's another one that is, like, always trying to, like, instill just, like, anxiety onto myself.
Yeah.
And I feel like I'm learning how to ignore her. Because she's just fear.
Yeah.
And she's an illusion.
Bitch. Clap her away.
Yeah, that's also what
Fear
I've been
is
doing.
an illusion. Look how everything's tying together. It's like we planned it. So, Alyssa, you know what the question is today. What is our takeaway for the week? What can we apply? What can we do?
I feel like identifying a fault first, like in your
Yeah. Just one.
like in your process of whatever you're trying to achieve. Like, find the fault.
What's stopping you?
Whether it be I'm not drinking enough water, whatever it is. Find the fault first and, like, try to achieve that. Make that, like, a next week's goal to, like, try to achieve that. And maybe the process of whatever you're trying to achieve will actually seem like it's working and doing something just from one simple...
Because when you're trying to achieve a million things,
yeah.
you do nothing. But that's, like, we'll talk more about the 3-week habit thing. But, like, set one goal for 3 weeks. And after 3 weeks, it'll be, like, normal, habitual. And then you can set the next goal. But just start somewhere.
Yeah.
And you'll literally, if you master that, you'll be great. So find the fault, set the goal, and just worry about that one thing. And everything else can be, and just in your head, be like, oh, that will be a goal for another time.
Like, I mean, we've talked about disciplining the mind, but you really need to start putting everything together. Once you identify the fault, you're going to learn how to discipline your mind and the voices in your head. And then one thing leads to the next, and everything kind of is feeling like a more balanced, feeling more in control of yourself. It gives you more control over your life. And...
feel better.
Yeah.
And when you're only focusing on that one goal, it's like
and
instead
you'll feel
of
so much you'll feel better about what you're achieving. I feel like
you did it.
Yeah, you know.
But
what I
like
mean?
that way you're not like, because like if I have 36,000 goals and I achieve one, it's like it goes unnoticed because I'm so overwhelmed because I didn't achieve 35 or 35,999 of them. Math. But if I have this one goal, it's like then I can be happy that I achieved it and then move on to the next. And instead of being overwhelmed by the other things I want to do, it just goes on that list of like, oh, that's cool to have that as like my next goal. But like I'm not worried about it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Gotta stop sending everything so below because eventually it's just gonna start kind of bubbling back to the surface.
And everything's one from within and one step at a time.
Yep.
Anyways, guys, indulge in yourself this week.
Thank you so much for listening.
We will be
Happy
back
Monday.
next Monday.
Hey.
Monday.
Yes.
Bye, guys.
Bye.